Guys, if you can believe it, Cybersleuths say that the Jay Slater cover-up just got worse and taken to extreme levels that you won't believe. And Brad's mom, Rach, just did something that is causing alarm. So hold on to your horses and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. So Jay Slater went missing on June 17th on his first trip away from home without his family in Spain's largest tourist destination, an island just west of Morocco called Tenerife. It was the last day of the NRG Rave Festival when the 19-year-old from Lancashire got separated from his three friends, Brandon, Brad, and Lucy. The apprentice bricklayer from Oswald Twistle traveled 23 miles north, away from the resort town of Los Cristianos he was staying at with Lucy. He traveled to a remote village that night he disappeared called Masca. So Jay, 19, made this journey with at least two other men much older than he was, one identified as 31-year-old Ayoub, a convicted substance dealer. Then, at 8 a.m., Jay left the B&B to make an 11-hour hike from Masca back down to Los Cristianos, when he allegedly vanished into thin air. 29 days later, Jay was found at the bottom of a 500-foot cliff, and his passing was ruled, quote, consistent with a fall, end quote, and keyword being consistent because no one knows for sure what happened to him, and Cybersleuths are trying to fill in the blanks. Jay was walking the wrong way back to his hotel in Los Cristianos when his phone last pinged at 8:50 a.m. before it ran out of battery. This particular area was searched for 3 weeks by authorities, which included world-class sniffer dogs flown in from Spain. It actually took a volunteer searcher to find Jay's body after the official search ended. Interestingly, this volunteer searcher is allegedly friends with Ayoub. The volunteer searcher put out the narrative that Jay went off-road at 8:30 a.m. at around this location up here where my mouse is, and you can see the B&B down here. But according to Cybersleuth Tamara on Twitter, Google Maps says the walk to this location is 21 minutes. And strangely, Google also says the walk to the last known sighting of Jay by Ophelia, the Airbnb cafe owner, was also 21 minutes, which is as illogical as it is impossible. So Cybersleuth Tamara alleged that the walk times are being adjusted on Google Maps to suit the narrative that Jay would have been able to make it to his final location at 8:21 a.m. But the time it actually takes to get to Jay's final location was confirmed by Jay's dad, Warren, down the rapids, an independent journalist, to take over 90 minutes. So there's no way Jay could have made it to this final location, as in the screenshot, in only 21 minutes. So before you think these Cybersleuths are, tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists, Google Maps adjusting their data also happened in Nicola Bully's case as well. Just listen to this.
Just when you thought the case of Nicola Bully couldn't possibly get even more bizarre, it actually does. Does anybody remember Blackpool Lane? This was the road in which Nicola Bully would always start and end her walks. She would walk along Blackpool Lane, up the towpath into the fields, and then back the same way that she entered, back out onto Blackpool Lane. Yet the police constantly and consistently sought dashcam footage from the completely incorrect road. They were seeking dashcam footage from Garstang Road and sometimes Garstang Lane, which doesn't even exist, yet they really needed dashcam footage on Blackpool Lane. Well, in the last 48 hours or so, Google Maps have changed the road name. Now, you can't make this up. You couldn't possibly make this up. It's now changed from Blackpool Lane to Garstang Road.
So Cybersleuths believe that the time code of the location being shared at the bottom of this screenshot was photoshopped in at a later date. And this screenshot was really taken at 1:50 a.m. in the morning because apparently the friends forgot to Photoshop that part out. So 1:50 a.m. in the morning was 7 hours before Jay disappeared. And this screenshot also shows the green dot that someone else was there when Jay vanished. So Cybersleuths are curious to know if this green dot are actually Jay's friends planting his phone and staging a cover-up, because Jay's phone was allegedly found wiped clean of any evidence, and reports say that his clothes were found beside him. So just in the past few days, an avalanche hit the area of where Jay's body was found. So no one besides the volunteer searcher and the corrupt Tenerife police saw Jay's body. Jay's body was identified by fingerprints, which would be impossible to identify after baking in the hot sun for nearly a month. The only way Jay could have been identified was by dental records. The mainstream media also published an old, misleading video of someone else being rescued by helicopter and tried passing it off as Jay. So some are even unsure if it's really Jay that these people found. But before the British authorities could do a proper inquest into Jay's mysterious case, an avalanche hit the area where Jay was found. Jay was found at the bottom of a 500-foot cliff he would have to literally walk off of since it was so steep. I mean, who would just walk off the cliff? But at the bottom of this cliff is a beach, which is accessible by boat. So when you arrive here by boat, you can access the exact location of Jay's body, and this is confirmed by the volunteer searcher himself. A family went to the location of where Jay's body was found and showed how easy it was to climb up to that area once you arrive by boat. And strangely, as published by the Daily Mail, a boat disappeared the same day and from the same area Jay disappeared from and turned off its location. This boat, Maruba, hasn't been seen in 63 days and appears to have sent its final location from Morocco, where it is alleged the dealers Jay's friends worked for are from. Jay was involved in a 2021 altercation where the target, Tom Hilton, was hit by machetes and golf clubs that resulted in his skull getting exposed. However, Jay's mom, Debbie, alleges Jay was not involved in the gang that did this to Tom, stating that Jay just gave his statement and was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Jay was given a lighter sentence than the other 8 men involved in the altercation, and I'm speculating that this could have been because Jay allegedly, possibly ratted out his friends and therefore received a plea deal. So Davis Hargreaves, who I'm sure you're familiar with that last name because it's Brad's last name, Jay's alleged best friend, this person, Davis, received 200 hours of unpaid work, while Jay received only 150 hours of unpaid work. And YouTuber Wax Unfiltered found that Lucy and Brad were liking Tom Hilton's pictures on Facebook, and Davis is allegedly a distant cousin of Jay's alleged best friend, Brad, even though Cybersleuths point out that very few pictures of Brad and Jay exist together. And Jay's friend Brandon posted suspicious emoticons on his Instagram that says, "No rats." A photo emerged of Tom Hilton's scar, which confirms Jay was confronted by Tom at the NRG rave. And that still is from this infamous video where Jay appears to be coming up from the floor without the bag he was wearing the entire night and discussing or having a confrontation with somebody afterwards that looks a lot like his nemesis, Tom Hilton. YouTuber Wax Unfiltered pointed out that Davis allegedly made this Facebook status update on June 19th, only 2 days after Jay went missing and 27 days before Jay was found unalived, writing, quote, "Rest in peace, my brother," end quote. Turns out this was edited, and the original caption had 4 crosses instead of the 4 hearts, which Cybersleuths allege meant grass.
Now I'm going to retell that message as though it's got the 4 crosses at the end of it. Rest in peace, bro. Someone you were. You'll never be forgotten. Love you, my G. Could you see what I saw? the first message that Davis Hargreaves put out with the 4 crosses, to me, it quite clearly spelled grass.
So users are saying that Davis is potentially celebrating that Jay is underground. Sleuths have started taking a closer look at Brad's mom, Rach, because of this connection. So when Jay went missing, Rach set up a Facebook group, but sleuths say a lot of the information was being censored. YouTuber Wax Unfiltered says Rach appears to be trying to control Jay's mom, Debbie, in her interviews. I mean, in this still, you can see that Debbie appears to be pulling away from Rach as Rach is trying to console her. And Cybersleuths found messages from a leak that are allegedly from Rach saying, quote, "I know where he is, but can I tell anyone this? No. Then I will get took. We need 30K by Monday morning. Lucy needs to hurry up and transfer that GoFundMe money to pay. Then Jay can come home. I just need her to hurry. I hate seeing him like this." End quote. So is it possible that she knew what her son and his cousin did? So Rach made a statement writing that creators should be ashamed of themselves for making money off Jay and, quote, "the truth sits with us," end quote. But sleuths are pointing out that they just want the truth that they seem to be holding on to, since the sleuths feel that Rach knows more than what she is saying, especially with all of those text messages that were allegedly from her. Users are pointing out that on Rach's TikTok, while Jay was still missing, Rach was posting picture after picture of Brad and kind of bragging about him, which was insensitive to Debbie, who had just lost her son. And after Rach got called out, her TikTok went private. Rach, in this statement, shames people profiting off of Jay's passing. But as we've learned, Rach was the one that set the GoFundMe up first. And one user wrote this, quote, "Your son left him and shouldn't have. They set him up and had him murked by Tom Hilton's mates. Oh, the police will soon come knocking on your doors," end quote. And that is alleged, but you can kind of see why these sleuths are starting to make these crazy allegations. I mean, personally, I think it's fully possible that Jay's passing might have been caused by an act of revenge and that he was set up. I mean, what better place to do it than sketchy Tenerife that we've learned is pretty much controlled by these gangs. It really bothers me to this day that Jay was discovered in an area that was heavily searched and no other witness saw Jay the day he disappeared besides Abe and Ophelia, who won't even cooperate with Jay's family. I mean, was she paid off? Jay disappeared in a very highly trafficked area in Masca with locals and tourists alike. How did no one see him? And Masca is covered in CCTV cameras, so how did it not capture Jay? Was Jay even brought to this B&B? Was he taken away by car? These are the questions that all these sleuths have because his final movements just don't make any sense. So let's hope we get answers and justice for Jay. If you have any information you wish to share, you can email me at josemorescontact@gmail.com or just leave a comment down below and me and Gabby will read them. By the way, someone bought one of my merchandise that had Gabby on it, and I'm very impressed that someone actually purchased one of my shirts. So thank you so much to that one random person for buying my Gabby shirt. So don't forget to subscribe by hitting my face right above Miss Gabby, the best private investigator on all of YouTube, who works so hard and for treats, and she's tapped out. So I think it's time for a walk, and let's roll the outro. Bye, guys. Love you.